Harlem is changing again. You can feel it just by walking along 125th Street. There's a Whole Foods now, a Wells Fargo, and new condominium rising next to the building that have looked the same for decades. But this kind of change is not new in Harlem. The neighborhood has always gone through transitions. It started as land where indigenous people lived. The Dutch came in. Later on, it became a home mostly to white European immigrants. Eventually, the Harlem became a center of black life, politically, culturally, and historically. It was Harlem Renaissance. And now we're seeing another wave of change. In this video, I want to explore gentrification in Harlem as a part of broader repeating cycle in urban history. This cycle keeps returning, shaping by power, money, and the question of who gets to decide what a neighborhood should become. Gentrification in Harlem is not only about who is moving in, it is also about how and why the change is happening. This kind of transformation does not happen by chance. In the book Capital City, Simon Steen explained the city do not shift by accident. They change through government policy, city planning, and the influence of real estate industry. Gentrification is a part of a system. It is organized and intentional. When I interviewed a real estate broker, he described the change in Harlem as natural evolution. I asked him about any relation between gentrification and inflation, and he told me that it is not really about inflation. It is about the gap between people and classes. The educational gap, income gap, and the opportunity gap. He mentioned that even some newer, wealthier black professionals are moving into the area, not just an outsider. You can see this shift across Harlem. New buildings are going up, old pre-war apartments are being renovated. Older properties are being bought out. Some residents are excited about cleaner streets and safer blocks, but it also raises a question. Who gets the access to this better Harlem and who does not? In Harlem today, the signs of change are everywhere. National brands like Chipotle, Whole Foods, and Wells Fargo now sit where local businesses once thrived. These new developments represent more than just economic activity. They reflect a shift in how Harlem is seen and who is being built for. Some might say this is a loss. The character of neighborhood, its history, and its small business culture feel like they are disappearing. And it is true, many of the spaces that once held community memory are gone. But that does not mean at all of the change is negative. According to the Cynics Grid, many Harlem residents experience the shift with mixed emotions. Some welcome the change, but others feel that their space in the neighborhood is quietly disappearing. In some cases, it improves safety, aesthetics, and investment. A recent study from the University of Buffalo even showed that gentrification led to a reduction in property crime. In Harlem, crime has also declined. Serious crime dropped from 23.1 per thousand residents in 2000 to 18.5 in 2023, and violent crime is now at the lowest level in decades. When capital flows into the city, it can lead to better lighting, cleaner streets, and more stability. It is tempting to say Harlem is being taken over, but maybe it is more complicated. Maybe what we're seeing is a shift in who gets to shape the city's future and with what resources. These franchises bring money and infrastructures that small stores could not access. And while some voices get lost in the process, others finally get heard. So instead of asking if Harlem is getting better or worse, maybe we should be asking better for whom and what cost. When I walked through Harlem to work on this project, I saw part of the neighborhood I had never really noticed before. The new buildings and condos look surprisingly clean and modern, but not in a cold or lifeless way. Compared to Midtown or Upper East and West Side, Harlem felt warmer, even safer. I saw mirrors that honored its history, not erase it. The real estate broker that I spoke with mentioned how certain streets like those once avoided are now walkable and inviting, like Central Street. That stuck with me. Gentrification, as he said, might be a part of a larger evolution. Maybe in some way it is making Harlem a more welcoming city. If we can use abandoned or underused space well, Harlem could help relieve Manhattan's growing population pressure. Instead of seeing gentrification as a one-sided invasion, maybe we can see it as a way to rethink how a city grows, and especially if that growth includes honoring and the people and the history already there. As the effect of gentrification on the well-being and opportunity of original resident nodes, outcome very depend on how change is managed. And that is the point. Gentrification is a cycle, so it is inevitable. Harlem has been gone through it before, and it is happening again. The question is, can we make this cycle work for more people this time?